Data emerging from an earthquake simulation commissioned by NEM Insurance Company Limited revealed how the company would cope with a 7.0 magnitude earthquake similar to the one which struck Haiti in 2010. The research findings from the Mona J Informatics and the Earthquake Unit at the University of the West Indies were announced at a media briefing held at the Knutsford Court Hotel in Kingston on Tuesday, January 11, 2011. The analysis sought to assess the probable impact of a major earthquake on the NEM property insurance portfolio. NEM General Manager Chris Hind tells us how his company would cope with such a disaster.
Last year's earthquake in Haiti has forced all of us to reflect carefully on how we prepare. As a general insurer at NEM, we are keenly aware that we would be expected to play a key role in the nation's recovery by paying claims as quickly as possible so that people can get back in their homes and businesses can reopen. With this in mind, NEM has committed time and resources to understanding its exposure and ensuring that it can help lead to the recovery in the aftermath of an earthquake.
The research was designed to show how the 7.0 magnitude earthquake, which devastated Haiti on January 12, 2010, would have impacted NEM's insurance property portfolio if an earthquake of that same depth and magnitude occurred along the Jamaican segment of the Enriquez Planting Garden Fault System. Director of Mona J Informatics at the University of the West Indies, Dr. Paris Lou Ayi Jr. outlines the findings.
In 1999, the Caribbean Disaster Mitigation Project, funded by the USAID, completed a regional study on hurricanes and earthquakes. On the left, you will see the model that was done for Hispaniola. On the right, you can see the model done for Jamaica. Now, Hispaniola was modeled in 1999 as being pound for pound at a greater risk than Jamaica. You can see the western part of Jamaica, a little whiter than the eastern part of Jamaica, had MMI 7, same type of risk that Haiti is exposed to. Same thing. Dominican Republic was showing a greater value than Haiti. I'm specifically showing the Mico building along Moresco Road. Before and after, and comparing it to the presidential palace in Haiti before and after. As you can see, old style architecture, the main tower Mico collapsed vertically, same way the domes of the building collapsed vertically at the presidential palace in Haiti last year versus the 1907 earthquake. You're looking at some of the damage from Haiti, and you realize a lot of the buildings just vertically went down, they pancaked on themselves. A lot of people were trapped inside the rubble, and again, a lot of the focus have been on the death toll. But we must remember that people who were grievously injured, as well as people who were displaced and continue to live in tent towns right now, they're still victims as well. MMI 6 is felt by all. MMI 7, difficult to stand. MMI 8, difficult to drive, etc. So we're talking about increasing intensity and perceptions. But essentially for this model, for what we'll discuss today, we will use MMI 6 as the baseline where everybody can feel it. A few weeks ago we had an earthquake that people were starting to get all panicky about, a 3.8 magnitude earthquake. I didn't feel it, Chris felt it. With the MMI 6, I would have definitely felt it, Chris would have felt it, everybody would have felt it. So there's no question as to was that an earthquake or did you feel that a while ago, etc. There's no ambiguity. So now we go into the model. We selected, part of our mandate, our mission, our commission from NEM was to move the Haiti earthquake west along the Planting Garden Enriquez fault. We were to bring it as close to Kingston as possible. We were to use the exact same specifications as a Haiti earthquake. Same focal depth, same magnitude, etc. But of course, like if any of us were cloned right now, it's not going to be identical. There are local conditions that are different on this side of the Windward Passage. The local geological conditions are different than the epicenter. The kind of systems that are occurring in this location is different than what's happening in southwest of Port-au-Prince, and as a result, it's a different event, but it still has the same basic vital statistics as the Haiti event.
The Enrico Fault coming right across Jamaica. We know it's not perfectly continuous. You know, you have, breaks or bends, as this part will probably be more or less what have been described as a restraining bend. And then we have, the faults in the central part of the island here. And then you have some more, offshoots or restraining bend to the western part. But these are not perfect lines, but more or less we can, delineate more or less a general pattern of this fault line across the island. The model more or less uses a 100-year return period as the final output for this simulation, because typically this is what, engineering structures are designed to. It's an 100-year event.
Areas that would feel MMI 6 or more account for 75% of Jamaica's land area. This area contains 2.2 million people. It contains at least 480,000 buildings. Eastern Jamaica obviously would feel the worst. 87% of Portland, 83% of St. Thomas by area would feel MMI 8. So people driving in those areas would definitely feel it. MMI 8 is extremely severe. You can go back and look at your little table to see what you would experience with an MMI 8 event. That's the model. You can see that the MMI 8 is in the darkest areas here in eastern Jamaica. I've overlaid this with the geology map. You can see that where certain types of formations exist. This is important because when you look at the Ligony Plain, the Caymanas Plain, the Veer Plain in southern Jamaica, these areas, these alluvial plains, tend to accelerate earthquake waves, and as such, these areas would feel the effects quite acutely. It's a reason, we'll actually come back to this later on. It's something that was identified in the Caribbean Disaster Mitigation Project report from 1999 about the vulnerability of Kingston. Kingston in terms of where we are right now versus Kingston, Stony Hill versus Kingston, Jacks Hill, in terms of ground, peak ground acceleration depending on your geology. In terms of MMI 8, 67.9% of Kingston by area would be experiencing MMI 8, and again I refer you to your table to see what that entails. 100% of Clarendon would experience MMI 7. Now if you were to look in the west, Hanover, 100% of Hanover would experience MMI 4. 99.6% of Westmoreland would experience MMI 4, and 0.41% of Westmoreland would experience MMI 5. For those parishes, we don't think there would be any significant structural damage or loss of life. But when you include the behemoths, that is Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, all of these guys are in red. Obviously the major towns and whatever in those areas, accounting for 2.2 million people, would be in the red colored bracket. In terms of buildings, you can barely see little ants in the model right here. These little, each of those, at one point is one building, and obviously Kingston is just one massive ant's nest right here. And you can see that these areas are extremely dense with buildings. Same thing going on for urban areas. Portmore, Spanish Town, Maypen, you can pretty much see the urban settings. Like I said, 480,000 buildings are within 6 and higher. 480,000 buildings in this area right here. In terms of breakdown, this is information from Statin, the type and breakdown of buildings per parish. You can see that Clarendon has 57,000 buildings in total, 45,000 of which are concrete. You can see Kingston Parish has 13,800, 8,000 of which are concrete, and so on. You can see the breakout of the different buildings by parish. And here we can look at the building population relationship between Haiti, Port-au-Prince and Kingston. And if you were to look at where a lot of concentration of people per building, Kingston actually has a higher population per building ratio than Port-au-Prince. We must understand that the Haiti event last year was not even the largest earthquake last year. We had Chile a few weeks after that, which was worse than in terms of magnitude than the Haiti earthquake. But I mean, one of the questions that we've tried to answer and show today was the fact that yes, Jamaica can experience a Haiti-style earthquake.
We at NEM commit to being there for our clients should an earthquake occur. NEM can and will play your claim quickly and fairly. Today we're pleased to know that the research conducted by Linden and Paris has given us a good indication that in the event of a major catastrophe, NEM will be there for our customers and can and will pay claims. I'm proud to be part of a team that helps to direct and guide NEM, and I can attest to the company's action in being prepared and ensuring that our customers are confident in their insurance coverage. Established in 1934, NEM is the oldest of the general insurance companies operating in Jamaica. We're a strong, well-capitalized company and a proud subsidiary of Jamaica National Building Society. We at NEM will continue to ensure that your security is our best policy. And I urge you to be prepared for earthquakes and choose a sound insurer such as NEM.